On this episode of the Infowars News Blitz, I will be reading an article that says how scientists show internet is dependency alters the human brain. A national poll comes out saying that Ron Paul surges into second place. 3 U.S. warships head to the Strait of Hormuz, and also U.S. Marines are urinating on dead bodies, Taliban dead bodies. That and a lot more straight ahead, so don't you go anywhere. An article from the Independent here says that there is a internet dependency that alters the human brain. The article is called "Scientists Show How Internet Dependency Alters the Brain," and it says, and it goes on to say this: Internet addiction has become for the first time been linked with charges in the brain similar to those in public addiction to alcohol, cocaine, and cannabis. In groundbreaking study, researchers used MRI scanners to reveal abnormal in the brains of adolescents who spent many hours on the internet to their determinant of their social and personal lives. The findings could throw light on our behavioral problems and lead to development of new apparent treatment, researchers say. The article goes on to say that although most of the population would spend longer online, that was not evident of the addiction, she said. It's different. We were all doing it because modern life requires us to link up over the net in regards to jobs, professional and social connections, but not in an observable way. When someone comes to you and says they do not sleep last night because they spent 14 hours playing games and it was the same the previous night and they tried to stop but they couldn't, you know they have a problem. It doesn't tend to be gaming that catches people out. And I kind of agree with this, though. I mean, there are a lot of addictions, but this one started becoming really, really serious. As we become more and more wired into the matrix, folks, we are starting to turn into, zombies. And, I'm not happy about that. I mean, I don't spend a lot of time, I spend a lot of time on my computer, but I try to stay off the net and stuff like that. Well, I try to, but it's kind of hard. An article written by Steve Watson, which is called National Poll, Ron Paul surges into second. A 5-point gain means that Paul is tied for second place overall with independents and Republicans. Translation, folks. Everybody else who's basically, on the opposite side of the ring need to get out of the ring now, because now this is a two-man race between Romney and Paul. But anyway, the article reads as such: among voters alone, Paul has jumped 4 points nationally and now stands at 16%. Gingrich has slipped by 8 points among Republicans alone, leaving him at 20%. Mitt Romney still conservatively holds with 29% among Republicans and independents, I think. Yes, and 30% among Republicans alone. The poll was conducted before Ron Paul had a strong second place showing in New Hampshire. It does not appear that Gingrich finished 5th in New Hampshire, behind Rick Santorum with around 9%. Given those statistics, Paul is likely to surge further nationally and Gingrich is likely to slip even further. Another notable finding from the poll is that Paul is in second to Romney when it comes to a head-to-head matchup with Obama. Of course. I mean, seriously, they have a compromise. Wants to get rid of 5 agencies. Well, agencies. Get rid of the Federal Reserve. I mean, really, these guys will probably put Mitt Romney first in there to stop Ron Paul from, getting in there. Because unfortunately, they don't want Ron Paul because everything else is going to stop. I mean it. Everything is going to end for them. And they practically know that. So they're practically in panic mode now.
An article written by Paul Joseph Watson called Three Warships to Patrol Waters Near Strait of Hormuz details the fact that the USA has now sent, count 'em, 3 U.S. warships to patrol the waters near the Strait of Hormuz where the Iranian military are doing war game drills. But our loving Pentagon says that they deny moving any aircraft carriers is linked. They basically deny that. They deny movement of aircraft carriers is linked to Iranian tensions. The article states that three of these warships, the USS Lincoln, the USS Vincent, will join the USS John C. Stanton strike group, which is already in the region. Pentagon officials state that Stinson is scheduled to return to its home port in San Diego, but refuse to clarify exactly when this would occur. The Pentagon denies that the movement of warship has nothing to do with recent threats to close the Strait of Hormuz in an act would promote global economic chaos and a pretext for war. Holds little confidence. Oh please! A blockade is actually a declaration of war, and the Pentagon's lying to us about this crap? Oh, brother. I mean, really, folks, really wanna start a war with Iran to distract from everything collapsing and stuff. So that when the war kicks off, they can ride around Obama and vote for him again. Cause as history shows it, when wars happen, people tend to rally around the leader. And believe me, I hope cooler heads prevail in this one. If it doesn't, we're all in a lot of trouble.
A video release from CNN depicts 4 guys actually basically urinating on Taliban insurgent dead bodies in Afghanistan. I'm just gonna cut to the clip and just move right on in.
Our stars joining us with details. What are they saying over here, Robert? What's going on? Well, this is a 39-second video that began to appear on the internet earlier today for obvious reasons. We are only going to show a blurred still image. This is simply not suitable to be shown. What it does appear to show is 4 men dressed in Marine Corps combat gear in a war zone, urinating on what appears to be 3 dead bodies of potential insurgents. The Marine Corps has launched an investigation into all of this. We have to emphasize, as you continue to look at this photo, we do not know when or where exactly it was taken, but there are some interesting clues already emerging. I just spoke to a senior Marine Corps official who said, look at the picture. You will see that these people dressed in the Marine Corps combat gear are carrying 30 caliber sniper rifles, that especially the Marine dressed person closest to you is wearing a helmet very particular to Marine Corps sniper teams. So they are going to start looking and seeing if anything matches a potential unit that served potentially in Afghanistan, that they might be able to determine who this was and what they exactly we're doing here. By all accounts, if they believe this video is legitimate, they do not believe it's a fake, and this is very serious. Well, this is U.S. military potentially desecrating dead bodies. Well,
Yeah, sure. And you thought carpetbagging was bad. This is just a whole lot worse. I mean, seriously, I know you get to kill people and stuff, but don't desecrate them like that. It is disgusting, and it's basically dishonorable. It's utterly dishonorable to any man, or any warrior known to man. And basically, this is one of the main reasons why I was reading one of the comments while this video was rolling. It said that this is one of the main reasons why America's going to hell. Which is, I don't know, he could be right. Well, thank you for watching the Infowars News Blitz, and if you haven't noticed it, I do have a new voice. Yes, I just changed my sound card today, and I'm still working it out. I'm gonna mess with it tomorrow before I, head out of town for a few days, okay? So, as I always say, please vote for Ron Paul in the 2012 election, and make sure you go to Infowars.com to read all the other stories I have already read on here. Okay? Peace. Bye-bye.